Now, Amazon partnering with Bank of America, sort of a lending program. Come on in, please. Scott Galloway, he's the author of this book, The Four, that's the hidden DNA of Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. Now, Scott Galloway is a critic of the power that these companies have assembled. I think I can characterize you that way.
That's fair.
Well, look, Amazon looks like it's getting into the banking industry now. If it becomes a bank, then you can regulate it and really beat it up, can't you?
Well, that's the X factor and the reason it might not. The most trusted brand in the world is Amazon right now.
Is it?
Most trusted brand in the world from a consumer's perspective now is Amazon. And when you think about banking and financial services, what is really, at the end of the day, the core asset and the value? It's trust.
Yes, that's true.
So on a consumer level, it makes perfect sense. But again, the X factor, they may make the decision, because of what you're talking about, not to put their toe in that water or not to dive in. Their toe's already in that water. They make B2B loans because of the additional regulatory scrutiny.
Because they don't want additional regulatory scrutiny. You do.
The only thing standing between Amazon and a $1 trillion market cap right now is either Washington, Brussels, or one of the attorney generals similar to the one you had on earlier today. That's the only thing that stands between them and a $1 trillion market cap. It's no accident that they purchased the Washington Post. It's no accident they have 77 full-time lobbyists in Washington now, and it's no accident the new headquarters of Amazon is going to be in the D.C. metro area.
Oh, now you're breaking news for us. Okay, you've just made a dramatic statement. Because, as you know, there are dozens of cities and regions, 20 of them, in fact, that are vying for the second Amazon headquarters. And you come right out with it and say, they're going to the D.C. area.
It's either going to be D.C. or New York. I've been on a dozen public and private company boards. The CEO always cloaks the strategy of the second headquarters in business issues. It only comes down to one thing, two things in the case of Amazon. Second most important thing is retaining and attracting the best young talent. Every young person wants to live in either New York or San Francisco. They don't care about cost of living until they start collecting dogs and kids in their 30s, and Amazon doesn't care about those people. They care about a 24-year-old MIT grad. But the number one reason companies move headquarters is simply where the CEO wants to spend more time.
Is that right?
Full stop.
That's the main reason?
Full stop. And Jeff already had, think of it, if you're a 53-year-old man with $120 billion, are you going to spend time in Indianapolis? With all due respect to Indianapolis, you're not going to spend 24 hours in a place you'd want to live in, much less 60, 90, 100 days a year in a place you don't love. Bezos already has homes in D.C. He already has homes in New York. It will be the New York or D.C. metro area. If he moves to D.C., that's the smart move because they're not going to regulate the local boy. D.C. number one, New York number two, dark horse Miami because any guy who lives in Seattle likes the idea of spending more time in Miami.
You just don't like the power that Amazon has. That's your point, really, isn't it?
No, I'm not jealous or envious or resentful of power. I want to keep this party going. I want to continue to unlock innovation, and the way we do that is to oxygenate the market by breaking these guys up. I don't resent them. I own their stock. I think they're great at what they do. So congratulations. Let's take AWS, Amazon Cloud.
But wait a second.
Competitive companies.
No, wait a second. All the money that they take in from Amazon Cloud, and that's a real winner, they pump it out into other industries and make that profitable and make that innovative. I mean, the structure of the conglomerate leads to more innovation, not less.
Okay, you call it pump out and innovate, all right? Amazon takes its profits from the cloud and it subsidizes its retail units so it can sell products below cost. 20 years ago, we called that steel dumping when China was doing it. But when Amazon does it, we call it innovation. So at the end of the day, if a company long-term can access capital from somewhere else and use it to unfairly compete across another sector and not let little companies out of the crib or perform premature death or euthanasia on big companies, in the old days, that was called anti-competitive behavior. Now we call it innovation.
Okay. You're an interesting guy because you're a socialist and you're a stockholder of Amazon.
A full-throated capitalist. I just believe we need to oxygenate the marketplace. The last time we did this, Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican. This is about maintaining the party in the good times. This is about ensuring small companies and more innovation. The object of everyone's affection, Google, would not exist if the DOJ hadn't moved in on Microsoft in the late 90s. It's time. Come to the light, Stuart. I have faith in you. Search your feelings. We need you on this issue.
You're a great Friday guest. You really are. You make me smile. Scott, thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Good man.